Hey guys, it's Nice Clips and welcome back to another Degrassi commentary video. Someone gave me the brilliant idea to do my worst Degrassi couples and I was like, I can definitely deliver on that because there are a lot of couples that I have a deep-rooted hatred for. Degrassi is heavily based on the relationships between the characters, and so with so many relationships there's bound to be some bad ones, right? So I'm going to talk about a few of those couples that I feel belong in that category. So without further ado, let's start off with Drew and Becky. The only question I have for this relationship is why did the writers think this was okay? Why did they think we wanted to see this? Drew with his dead brother's girlfriend. It was already disturbing enough that Drew would always go for every girl that Adam had a crush on. There was Fiona, there was Katie, there was Bianca, and now Becky. Becky, seriously, like that was the love of Adam's life. He practically died trying to get back to her, and the writers were just like, let's put them together. Let's put Drew and Becky.
That's a great idea. I'm with that.
I wanted to curl up and die, if we're being honest, every time I had to watch a scene between the two. So let's move on to another gross couple, Claire and Jake.
Gross. Those two are step-siblings. Shouldn't that be illegal?
Just like Marisol said, they were step-siblings. Their parents were married. Here, their dad is literally dropping them off at school, and Claire is in the back seat sending her brother a text message saying, I can't wait to kiss you. What? They're sitting here in their house that they both live in because, again, their families are together now and they're talking about sex. Like, I can't even begin to describe how grossed out this relationship made me. Yeah, there's not even really much else to say. Like, it speaks for itself. It really does. Moving on, Casey and Jenna. This relationship was so bad. It was really bad. So we all know about the pregnancy, kind of the main thing that shaped their relationship within the show. And there was so much toxicity, even before the whole pregnancy thing. The relationship was already off to a pretty toxic start because Jenna just stole Casey right from under Claire. So that was bad. But right from the moment Casey found out about that baby to the moment they gave him up for adoption, he was just the worst support system.
You do whatever you want. I can't be involved.
What? You're gonna make me go through this alone?
It was just really sad to watch. He wanted nothing to do with her or that baby. We would see Allie being supportive and helping her out, but where was the baby daddy? Jenna was pulling so much weight taking care of the child, and all she wanted to do was get a little taste of her old life. She just wanted to sing, she wanted to play music, that's all. But Casey was like, no, I'm the only one that's gonna have fun. I'm gonna play basketball, I'm gonna go to school, and I'm also going to have another relationship on the side with Marisol while you just do everything. And then when Jenna wanted to give the baby up for adoption, he was like, no, don't do that. Honey, you're the reason why she wanted to give him up in the first place. Next, Johnny and Ellie. Hated it very much. Where do I even begin? First, him being a senior and her being a freshman. Second, him sleeping with her and telling her he was a virgin even though he wasn't. Third, him sending around her nudes to his friends. And fourth, him just being mean to her. Like, he would get snappy at her and it was just really sad.
But in order for this to work, cool it with the PDA and act a little more mature. Got it?
Sir, if you wanted her to be more mature, then maybe don't date a freshman. How about that? Ugh. Anyways, let's talk about Drew and Zoe. This relationship was so out of pocket. It was inappropriate. Mind you that Drew repeated a year, so this man is technically a college freshman, at least 18, having relations with this 15-year-old. Drew, come on now. What are you doing?
No, what are you doing? What are you doing? No, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop!
I also want to just talk about how good of a mom Audra was because she really set him straight. She was like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't raise you this way. And I felt like she was one of the best Degrassi moms, honestly. Why am I talking about moms? This is about relationships. So moving on, another couple that I was not too fond of was Manny and JT. I love Manny. I love JT, but together it just made me physically uncomfortable. Like, they weren't each other's types at all. Manny was definitely more into guys who were more mature, older, so seeing her with JT was just very weird. And that whole childhood friend group with Manny, Toby, JT, and Emma, none of them should have dated. They should have left that alone. And it was very awkward. I cringed a lot watching their scenes. Like, do I even have to talk about that one storyline with the device? So yeah, moving on. Let's talk about Eli and Imogen. They didn't really date for that long, but I still hated every single moment of it. There was no spark, there was no match. It was really awkward. It started off as like an obsessive crush that Imogen had on Eli, and as you can see, Eli was like low-key scared of her, as he should, because she was kind of a weirdo. You guys know I don't like Imogen. If you saw my Degrassi characters I don't like video. But Imogen would always somehow trigger Eli's emotions, and every time those triggers would show up, Imogen would always just be like, Eli, you're lashing out. Don't say that to a person struggling with mental health, babe. Even physically, they just didn't look good together, and it wasn't an enjoyable experience watching them. Another relationship that I hated was Manny and Spinner. It was so stupid. They built it up for so long just to essentially do nothing with it. They got together, had no scenes with each other, and then basically in the next 2 episodes they broke up. They didn't even have a breakup scene. They just showed Manny looking at Spinner very disappointedly and walking away. I mean, it was a complete waste of time, a complete waste of effort, and I still stand by my opinion that Manny should have dated Jimmy. Manny and Jimmy would have worked, I'm telling you. Alright, moving on to the next couple that I really didn't like, Sav and Holly J. This one was definitely not as bad as a lot of the couples that I previously mentioned, but something about it just still didn't really sit right with me. I just don't think they matched well at all. I feel like they were just dating for the heck of it because they just ran out of people to date at that point. And I usually don't like it when the friend starts going out with like the best friend's ex. It's just very weird, very uncomfy. I know a lot of people liked this relationship, but I just couldn't get behind it. It was a bit awkward for me. Now I'm gonna kind of speed everything up and go into some honorable mentions, starting with Miles and Zoe. For obvious reasons, this was just not right. Paige and Spinner, I thought they were actually really boring, and I hated it when they kept trying to rekindle the relationship in the later seasons. I think this photo was from like season 5, and I was just like, put it to rest. Please move on. JT and Mia, we all know why. Lola and Miles made me feel uncomfortable in so many ways. Allie and Drew, this was just a very cringe time for the both of them. Lastly, Craig and Ellie. This wasn't really a relationship because they never really dated, but still, this was just the worst. Like, Ellie became such an unbearable character when she started liking Craig, and it was just really bad. I hated it. I really did. So that's going to wrap up this video. Let me know if you guys agree with any of these relationships, and drop some of the relationships that you guys hated down in the comments as well, because you guys know I love to talk to you in the comments. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.